Hey, how you doing, guys? I got some exciting news from Canon. They finally released a successor to the XF305, which has been a workhorse for many years in things such as newscasts and documentaries. And I actually use a version of the XF series line. In fact, this is the Canon XF100, which I've used for many years for my news stories outside the studio. It's a great camcorder for many things. And so we're actually going to look at that now. And this new designation is the Canon XF705. And it actually reduces the size slightly by using a single CMOS 1-inch sensor rather than 3. And we're going to talk some specs for you camera nerds out there. Records up to 4K and H.265. Of course, H.265s give you twice the compression at relatively the same quality. Now, it utilizes this using a new XF-HEVC codec. And also, it records up to 60 frames per second at 422 color space, 10 bits. So the quality is relatively quite nice. So it'd probably be good for things like color correction, color grading after post. Of course, I wish it had a little bit better codec. I generally like the I'm trying to think, MXF, yeah, codec. Usually it's a higher bit rate, I think up to 50 megabits per second. I'm not sure the compression rate on this, but obviously it's going to be higher because it's 4K. Now, it's also going to feature the dual pixel autofocus, which is really the industry standard compared to other cameras. And also going to have face tracking. The max aperture on this is going to be 2.8. And surprisingly, looking at some of my older specs on this older camera, the Canon XF100 is capable maximum aperture of 1.8, which is kind of quite surprising. It actually does quite well in low light as long as you go down to 24p or 24 frames per second. And I expect the same pretty much for this camera as well. So exciting news from from Canon. See, I'm excited for this camera. Great to see them continue the line as far as depend on your use, of course. I mean, if for news gathering and other things along those lines. I guess you could use it for filmmaking, but of course there are some better cameras for that, such as the Canon C Cinema line, C100, C200, C300, and so on, all the way up to C700. A lot of numbers in there with C's, I guess, right? Thanks you for watching, and see you guys later. And tell me what you think about this exciting news from Canon.